Hey, what is going on, everyone? DimitriusMac here, and welcome back to another episode of Real Talk, folks. Now, for those of you who may be tuning in for the very first time, let me take a quick second to explain what this series is all about. On my channel, I'm normally goofy, I'm normally energetic, I'm normally a whole bunch of things that pretty much isn't this series. This is my most serious series on the channel. Why sit down? I talk about things going on in YouTube, I talk about things going on in my life, I talk about things going on just in general, and I sit down about real topics and I discuss them with you. Now, folks, this is a topic that's been going on around the YouTube community and around the gaming community for some time now, and a lot of people have spoken up about it, and I figured it's about time I did too, and that is the whole debacle around microtransactions. Now, microtransactions have been around for a very, very long time. So why just now? Why are things just now starting to pop up and just starting to be criticized for paying for things outside of the original game? And I'll tell you why, and I'll discuss why those things are, and I'll discuss the difference of why some games such as Destiny 2, Shadow of War, and Forza 7 are getting hit with all types of controversy over microtransactions, and games like Overwatch and Hearthstone remain okay to do so. So microtransactions are something that it feels like it's part of every day. It feels like it's a part of your everyday game. And unfortunately, it's starting to look like that. So why are games like Overwatch and Hearthstone so much different than most of the games going on? Well, I'll talk about Overwatch first. So with Overwatch, you can pay to buy loot boxes, which in therefore give you items, and you can spend as much money as you want on these loot boxes to get as much of the items as you want. The thing is that these items are purely cosmetic. They have no effect on the game or the gameplay, and it is just basically for the collectors out there, the people who want to spend this money on it. By all means, they can go ahead. It's not affecting the gameplay. It's not giving anybody any unfair advantage when playing in competitive mode or anything like that. It is simply cosmetic. It is simply something that people just want to get everything out of. And if people want to spend their money on that, you're not going to see a lot of complaints from people. Now, on the other hand, Hearthstone is a game where you do have to pay to actually get better, and you can pay to have an advantage, but for the original game, you don't have to pay any money. And that is a bit controversial. I will admit it is a bit controversial because some people you're still doing the microtransactions to get an advantage. But the thing is, it's a lot better when you don't have to pay for a game and you willingly choose to try and get better at the game and buy cards or whatever it is that you have to do. And it's a lot different than buying a game for 60 bucks and then feeling like the entire game wasn't sold to you or the entire game isn't there yet. So now that you know the difference, let's talk about some of these culprits here. Let's talk about some of these games that were getting hit hard. And two of the games that were hit hard were definitely Shadow of War and definitely Destiny 2. And even Shadow of War, excluding the whole thing they did with that developer and they were charging money. And if you haven't heard about this story, you should look it up. It's actually really interesting. It's actually really messed up of how they were going to supposedly take the proceeds from this day one DLC to immortalize one of the developers who worked on the game. But if you looked at the fine print, not all of the money was going to the family, and instead it was going to God knows where, but they have since cleared that up and they have since made it free, I believe. But other than that, they still have the loot box system, which you can get orcs, you can get all types of whatever you need in the game to help you finish faster, and that's fine and all. There have even been some claims that you can't finish the game unless you actually buy loot boxes, which has been debated. It has been fought for, and defenders no, that's not the case. That's just over dramatization, and I get that. Same thing with Destiny 2, or a little bit like the same thing. You still pay for in-game stuff, and it's not as blatantly obvious as Shadow of War, but it's still there, and you still notice it. It's just annoying to pay $60 for a game and then to realize or to feel like it's not there. And two of the biggest games, one which is not even yet released at the time of this recording, are the biggest culprits in that, and I want to talk about them real quick. I want to talk about Star Wars Battlefront 2. Recently playing the beta, I like the gameplay. It feels good. It really does. They have since gone back to the class system where you can play, I believe, a choice of four different classes, and there's star cards and everything, and then it's all great, right? It's a lot better than the original. And that would be the case, but it seems like people on day one are going to get an opportunity to buy loot boxes, which contain star cards, which are upgrades for guns and for unlocking Jedis and for vehicles and for all types of stuff. And that just allows somebody with a crap ton of money to just throw at this game, to have a day one advantage. And therein lies the difference. It is affecting the gameplay. If somebody can just throw $100, $200, $300 at all these loot boxes, they're bound to get something that's going to help them. They're bound to get a star card that is going to help them out, that is going to eventually just make them dominant from the second, even from the get-go. And it's stuff like that that is just, not everybody has that money to do something like that. Not everybody, even if you have the money, wants to do something like that. In my opinion, there shouldn't be loot boxes that you can pay for that basically hold parts of the game in there. I mean, if they're in the game, then at least make them non-available to buy. Look, I get it. You know, you want to make a profit, you want to turn a profit, because a lot of these games, they're probably going to be marked down to half their price within a few months, $30, $40 from their original selling price at $60. And I get it, but this is not the way to do it. And I actually want to read to you folks from an article now about Forza 7, because this, in my opinion, is one of the worst out there. So this article is written by Paul Tassi, or Tassi. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name. He's a writer here on Forbes.com, and he decided to write about post launch of Forza 7. And it was really something in this article that stood out. There's a paragraph that I'm going to read to you folks that really stood out to me. And it reads, there are two main issues with Forza 7 that are being brought up frequently post-release. First, there have been significant changes to the way you earn credits to unlock everything in the game. Previously, you could change all sorts of settings in the game to up the challenge and earn more credits, more cash for night driving, etc. Now, that system has gone away and been replaced with, quote, mod cars found in loot boxes, consumable items that do the same thing in a more convoluted way. Though you cannot buy the loot boxes outright yet, there have been strong hints that it's only a matter of time until this is possible. If not, then there's still quite literally no reason for this change at all. So it's almost certainly on the way. Now, to me, honestly, that just sucks. That sucks a lot, because it feels like they locked away, not only that they locked away a part of their game, but it seems like they've almost reverted in how you change it. It's like, oh, if you want to earn more credits, we'll make you earn it in previous games. Yeah, just turn up your settings to harder mode or whatever. Oh, no, sorry. Now you actually have to pay for it. And it sounds like that the full game's not there, and that you have to essentially buy these things if you want to earn more stuff. And it's just, it goes deeper on about the loot boxes and everything in the way, and the new mod cars that they have. And it's crazy to think that games are going down this path. So that is it, folks. That is all that I really have to say here on this matter. I would love to know what you guys think in the comment section below on this whole situation. Do you think that this is some scummy cash grab situation that these companies are doing, that is just laziness and they just want to get the most money possible? Or do you think it's an actual way that they're trying to communicate with the community in their own twisted way, some sort, So let me know in the comment section below, folks. Once again, thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch one of my videos. Real Talk premieres once every month. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're new here and you think I deserve a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. And with that being said, folks, I will see you all in the next video. Until then, I'm DimitriusMac, and I'm out. Peace.